Hello everyone, welcome to the part 3 of this lecture series. Let's see where we left off in the part 2. This was a fairly simple question. Based on our discussion, I told you that habitat is the address and the niche was the job in the ecological terms. Okay, so the answer is ecological niche. The topic of today's discussion will be functions of the ecosystem. This is a fairly large topic, so we are going to break it into parts. Today we are going to discuss these three of them: ecological succession, homeostasis and biotic interactions. So the first one is ecological succession. First of all, you should be aware about what succession is. In the political arena, you are aware that one ruler is succeeded by the other one, then the other one, then the other one over a period of time. In the ecological system, the same happens for plant and animal communities. The period of time is of the range of 100 to 150 years or even more than that. So it involves progressive series of changes with one community replacing another until a stable mature climax community develops. Finally, a climax community is developing in the ecological succession. The stages involved are, first of all, pioneer communities will be there. Pioneer community followed by transitional ones. Transitional communities. These are also known as serial or series. Then finally, the climax community. This is the final step to ecological succession. So you can remember it like this: PSC. ठीक है? Okay. Next slide is, these two kinds of successions are there: primary and secondary. Primary में the succession starts from the scratch. There is not even soil, so no community has ever existed before on this. The surfaces where the primary succession takes place are these: rock outcrops, means the newly exposed bedrock, or these are the rock outcrops. Newly formed deltas and sand dunes, emerging volcano islands, lava flows, glacial moraines. These are all the new landforms that are formed. You should be able to know this, how these are formed, in the geography section. Okay. In the terrestrial arena, the pioneer species start with the microbes, then lichens and mosses. These are the pioneer species. Let's look at a diagram for more clarity. This is primary succession. As I told you, bare rock where there is no soil. So upon this, first of all, small microbes will come up. When these die off, thick patches will be left upon them. Upon these patches, lichens and mosses will develop. Lichens and mosses. These are the pioneer species. Okay. After these lichens and mosses die, these decompose to form soil. More and more patches will form up. Upon them, more and more lichens and mosses will form up. So, like this, some soil is formed. Upon this soil, more microbes come up, more decomposition takes place, and in this way, the soil becomes more and more fertile. The soil formation takes around more than 100 to 120 years. Okay, based upon the area and the geography of the area. Okay, so when the soil is formed, then the conditions are conducive for small plants to come up. Okay, when the birds fly into this area, they disperse the trees, they disperse the seeds of the trees. So first of all, the shade, when more and more conditions are conducive, so more and more hardy trees will form up. Okay, so like this, in a primary succession, you go from a bare rock to a full-fledged forest. Okay, this is primary succession. Next one we have secondary succession. See here, already the soil is there. Okay, so existing communities completely or partially destroyed due to some reasons. If the land is abandoned, deforestation, fire, flood or other human intervention. आपने कभी खंडर भी देखा होगा. So in an abandoned house, how does it become a khandar? It becomes a khandar due to secondary succession. पायनियर आर द हार्डी ग्रास स्पीसीज. देखा ही होगा, जो छोटे छोटे पेड़ वैसे उगने, पौधे उगने लगते हैं. ठीक है. सो इट स्टार्ट फ्रॉम दिस एंड फाइनली द खंडर वुड बी नो मोर एंड also you would have left the area to monitor that. So it is relatively faster. Why it is faster? Because we don't have to form the soil, so there is no need for lichens and mosses to decompose here, hence it is relatively faster. Let's look at a diagram of secondary succession. This, see the fire in the Australian bushfire. The forest fire in the Australia was known as, I'm sorry, so in the Australia in I think 2020 or 2019 there was massive fire in the forest. These fires are known as bushfires there. Okay, so consider this example of Australia only. The pioneers soil is already there. Moreover, the ashes from that has turned the soil more fertile even. Okay, so in a couple of years the pioneer species will be annual plants, then the grasses and perennials. These pioneers, over some 5 to 150 years, intermediate species will come up based upon the local geography of Australia, young oak and hickory, shrubs, pines, and finally full-fledged trees and forest will come in nearly 150 plus years. So you can see how the impact of these bushfires will have upon the geography of the region, because it will take more than 150 years to come up to the same condition. Okay, so this was succession. Next is homeostasis. Homeostasis is divided into two words. Homeo means similar and stasis means standing still. So the ability to resist the changes of the biological system. See, some biological parameters need to remain the same for survival. Okay, these can be different for various organisms. For humans it is temperature, moisture. For the aquatic organisms it is the osmotic concentration. Then hibernation for the bears, estivation in snails and fishes. These are the examples or the mechanisms of homeostasis in various kinds of organisms. Thermoregulation में क्या है? The humans, as you know, can survive from Siberia, cold desert, to Arabia, hot deserts. How are they able to regulate this temperature? It is through thermoregulation. In the summer season, your body sweats a lot. So sweating is one of the mechanisms of homeostasis. Similarly, in osmoregulation, the fish has to maintain the fish. Suppose this is a salty water in the sea or ocean. So the fish has to maintain its own salt water concentration inside its body. So this is maintained through osmoregulation. Hibernation for bears in the winter season. Okay. Then estivation. This is the kind of a hibernation for snails and fishes in the summer season. Why do they undergo estivation? To withstand heat, to avoid heat, because their soft bodies can get destroyed under summer heat. So in snails, you would have seen in some areas they stick onto the some woody surfaces, and only the shells are visible for some time. Okay, so here they don't expose their soft bodies and hide their bodies into the shells for the whole of summer, and like this they avoid the heat loss. Okay, this was homeostasis. Now biotic interactions. Biotic means living. So interaction among the living beings, living organisms of various species. Based upon the impact of these species on both of the interactive species, these are divided into 7 kinds. So we'll see them one by one. Mutualism, under which both the species benefit. Competition, both of them are at a loss. Predation, one is eating the other. Parasitism, one is feeding off the other. Commensalism, one is benefiting but the other is unaffected. Amensalism, the other is at a loss while the other is unaffected. Neutralism, both the species are unaffected. See, this neutralism is only a theoretical concept, because interactions always happens and neutralism is a rarity. Okay, so let's see the examples now. These are the examples. See, in the exams I've seen, based upon my experience, that you should read more examples on your own, because in the exam examples only come, these concepts are not coming very often. On your own you should be able to study, just google them out and you'll see. Okay, so first of all, mutualism. Under this, both of our species are benefiting. You can see this bird, it is known as Egyptian plover. It is the personal dentist for these crocodiles. Actually, the meat remnants that stick on to the teeth of these crocodiles, these can be these can decompose by the मतलब बैक्टीरिया लग जाते हैं इसमें, तो इनके जो दांत हैं वो ख़राब होने लग जाएंगे. सो एक्चुअली द बेनिफिट टू crocodiles is preservation of their teeth, preservation and cleaning of teeth, and the Egyptian plover gets meal. बोथ द बेनिफिट, ये भी फ़ायदे में है और ये भी फ़ायदे में है. ठीक है. कंपटीशन, बोथ आर एट अ लॉस बिकॉज one of them will win, other will not. Hence there is always competition. One is eating of the other's pie, other is not eating of. Okay. Predation में क्या है? This species is at a loss, and the cheetah, panther, these are all the carnivores are at a advantage. Next one, parasitism. Parasitism, you are all aware of the mosquito, tapeworm, roundworm, the lice, मतलब जो जू होती है आपके बालों में. Okay, these are all parasites feeding off onto you. You are at a loss while the other is benefiting. Commensalism. In this commensalism, the other one is at a neutral and this species at a advantage. How? See, when these herbivores, they explore the grasses, the insects in them get disturbed and displaced. So when they are displaced, they can easily spot them, and these egrets, इनको egrets बोलते हैं, egrets can easily spot them and eat. So this is at a benefit and no impact on the herbivores. Okay. Amensalism में क्या है? The shade of these large trees is preventing the growth of other plants and trees. So other plants and trees are at a loss while the other is getting unaffected. Okay, so these are all your interactions. I think we are done for the concepts today. Now you should be able to solve this question. Thank you and have an awesome day.